Hi, Eiko.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. How's the day so far?
Uh, Nothing fancy. I just got up because I'm off work today.
Oh, sounds good, sounds good, sounds good, Eiko. So, Eiko, your next album, Everest, is scheduled to be released on March 18th. So, can you tell me a bit about the songwriting and production behind this album?
Um, yeah, the songwriting process it wasn't difficult, but it didn't turn out the way we expected it. I have to go back in time a little bit. After we recorded the Zombiek album,
Yeah.
we didn't have a singer. I was doing the vocals on Zombiek, but I didn't want to do it live because I have to play guitar. And I can't do both the same time because I'm not James Hetfield. So that's the truth. And we found a singer, a guy from America living in Hanover. He was our singer for about 2 years. Then we wrote a couple of new songs for the Everest album. And we went to record 4 songs because we wanted to release an EP. Then there was a little tension in the band with Eric, the singer, and we had the 4 songs recorded and Eric left the band. And the pandemic came all at the same time. And I think that the pandemic had a little to do with the tension we got with Eric because we weren't able to meet. And so we had 4 songs recorded with a singer who was out of the band. So it didn't make no sense to release the EP because you can promote it live. You have an EP out with a singer who left already. So we decided to keep the songs, write a couple of more songs, go back to the studio so we have a complete album and use these 4 songs to get a new record deal. And that worked out. So we signed to MDD. The same time we found Kai, which was easy because he works for MDD. And he got the songs, he gave us the contract, and then he asked us to be the new singer. And a couple of years ago, Kai, I met him before a couple of times, and he was from Berlin, which is about 3.5 hours away. But what we didn't know was he had already moved into our area, so it was obvious. We took him, went back to the studio in November last year, recorded the other 4 songs, and now we got a complete album, and we release it in March 18. And like on almost every album we have, there is a lyrical concept behind the story. Like on Zombiek, it was about zombies, voodoo cults, and the album before Neptune's Relief was about sailors. And now it's about mountaineering.
Wonderful.
And that's obvious in the title because it's called The Everest. It's like a word game, you know, the mountain and finding eternal rest if you die up on the Everest, which happens a lot of times.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And what made you to come up with something related to mountaineering? And you brought in a lot of history in your booklet as well. So is there any particular reason to come with this concept?
Well, our guitarist, Burkhard, the other guitarist, he works for a museum. And he's very, very educated when it comes to these things. And he does all the concepts, all the lyrics. And I think it just came to his mind and he said, yeah, let's do something about mountaineering. And maybe next time we do something about Hameln, where I live, you know, the Piper Saga. You never know. It's interesting to always have a concept and then try to match the songs to the concept and musically.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. And do you have any particular plans on the day of the release?
Oh, we had, but Corona, you know, crossed everything. We try to do a release show in Hamburg, which is not really our area. It's 2.5 hours away from where we live. But we had an offer, then the venue was a little insecure. They didn't want to take the risk, and they wanted us to rent the venue and cover all the costs, taking all the risks, and we had to say no, because we can't afford it. It's just like every band. You come out of the studio, you're broke, because we paid the recordings, and we can take the risk. So now we try to find something in our area to do something, but we haven't planned anything yet, because you're not able to plan anything these days, unfortunately.
Yeah. And talking about the album, it's a massive 10-track album with thrash and melodic that infused together. And it all sounds amazing, like you guys always do. So how, as a band, do you feel about the outcome of this album?
We're totally excited, because it's so much going on since we're with MDD Records. It changed everything. I think we did more interviews now for the new album than we ever did in the past 30 years.
Wow.
So it's a lot of attention, a lot of good resonance. It's totally exciting. Sometimes I go like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's really cool.
Amazing, Eiko. Amazing. And like you said, it's been 30 years since you guys are making music from Germany, great band. So how has the road been for you guys so far?
It was an exciting ride. You know, Burkhard, Sonja, and we grew up together. We come from the same little place in Lower Saxony in Germany. If I really go back in time, I am a metalhead since 82, 83. I was 10 years old. And I dragged Burkhard into metal, and we listen to records and what you do when you're 15-year-old teenager. And after like 2 years listening to albums, we said, this is not enough. We can do this. Well, we couldn't, because then we bought guitars. So now we're a band. There was just one problem: we couldn't play. We couldn't play on our instruments, or we had to learn that. And then, you got the first demo out, which today, if I listen to it, I have to laugh, because it sounds like teenagers making noise. When we get the second demo, things start to progress. Then, you do your debut album. We took the next step. And then we got stuck somehow. Things didn't happen. That's why there's a break between the Neptune and the Zombie album of 12 years. Because you always lose people in the lineup. When you grow up, focus changes. So like, oh, I have to go to university. Oh, I'm married and I have kids now. I can't do it anymore. And because we're from the countryside, we're not from a big city like Hamburg or Berlin, it's hard to find people. So that always hold us back a little bit. But since we have the new lineup going on, it starts to grow. And I thought this is done. We'll always be like this little underground band, and now it starts to get bigger. After 30 years. After we are in our fucking 50s, man. And it just happens. It's great.
Amazing, Eiko. And would you like to share some of the great moments that you had over the years?
Oh, great. There's been a lot of great moments. Like one I remember that was in the 90s. We had our first demo tape out, and there was a small open air festival organized by the people that ran the venue where our rehearsal space was at back in the day. And we always asked, oh, can we play? We want no money. We play as the first band of the day. And I was like, no. No, 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 not with this music. And then we did the Storm Clouds EP, and the same year we headlined. And that was like, we told you. You know what I mean? That was one great moment. Every time a new album comes out, you get good reviews. That's a great moment. Every time you play a show, which is good, which is not always the case, it's a great moment. After we did some big and it was well received, we played bigger shows with really cool bands like 1914, Enforcer. We played in Hamburg in a sold-out club with Enforcer. That was like one of the highlights to me. Or anytime you meet a musician that influenced yourself or me when we were kids, and you say, yeah, I know your band, I like it. That's always a great moment.
Amazing, amazing, Nico. And what would be some of the upcoming and future plans for the band?
Play live as soon as we can. Then write new songs, make another album, and go on.
Wonderful.
You know, now that the door is open, we have to walk through it.
Absolutely.
But how much can you plan these days?
Sure.
We can say, oh yeah, we want to go on tour. No, you can't, because, or you say, oh, we want to play bigger festivals. But that's difficult, because even if there will be festivals this summer, they will have the lineup from 220.
Yeah.
Because they're just moving the lineups from year to year.
Sure.
So I can't plan anything right now. We can just try to make anything happen which is possible. Well, we stay positive.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And any big dreams that you have?
I don't think so, because when I was 20 years old, it was always my dream to one day make a living with music. And it never happened. And there were times where that really bugged me, because I met people who made it and I never made it. I get to only talk for myself. And when the pandemic came and everything went down, that was the first time I think, man, I am lucky that I don't have to make a living from this. So it's good the way it is. I'm happy if the band just progresses, if the lineup stays stable. That's my biggest dream. It's not, oh, I have to play Wacken, or I have to play support of Metallica. Of course, this is dreams, but after being 33 years in this band, you get your reality check.
Yeah.
So, but of course, everybody has dreams.
And
that's all I can say.
Gotcha. And do you have any dream venues that you want to go out and play?
Well, my favorite venues of the 90s, they're closed now. But let me think. It's not a particular venue, but what I would like to do, and maybe that happens, would be to play outside of Germany. That doesn't mean Japan or the United States, because that's 2 steps ahead, but maybe like the Netherlands, Scandinavia, maybe just to play outside of Germany, because we never did. That's more important than the venue.
Hopefully this time it will happen with MDD Records. Hopefully this time it will happen with MDD Records.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Wonderful, wonderful, Eiko. And Eiko, finally, what would be the message that you want to give to your fans around the world?
Well, these days, there's one message that I have, and I have to choose my words really carefully. Now, when the pandemic strikes, the whole society is divided. the vaccinated hates the unvaccinated and vice versa. And I have a feeling that the metal scene itself is not divided yet. And as long as the scene is not divided, this is something no government and no nothing, they cannot take it away from us. And that is something where everybody should stay focused on, not to divide a scene, which stands for big unity. That's a real important thing.
Wonderful, wonderful, Echo. Thank you for this beautiful message. And Echo, I want to thank you personally for giving me this time to interview you today. And it was a real pleasure to meet you here.
Yeah, it was fun.
And thank you so much for making amazing music over the years. And thank you so much for bringing a new album in 2022, The Everest. So looking forward for the release of the album on March 18th. And I wish you and the entire band all the best and hopefully see you someday on the roads.
Oh, I hope so. Oh, we were scheduled to play with Kryptos from India last year, but it got postponed 2 times and now it's canceled.
Kryptos,
unfortunately, I would have loved to.
Kryptos is an amazing band from Bangalore. They're totally awesome, guys.
Okay. I have to thank you.
Thanks again, Echo. And you have a great day out there. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.